Okay, I'm going to start with some random world news. Jason David Frank, the Green Power Ranger, White Power Ranger, dead at 49. This is crazy. He's a Green Ranger, White Ranger too, and he's dead at 49. It's sad. Just kind of going off last week, you have Kevin Conroy at 66 dying of cancer, who was like the iconic voice of Batman through the Batman animated series, Batman games, Arkham Asylum, so on and so forth. And then you also have weird news out there. I know it's not bodybuilding related, but he's pretty jacked. Chris Hemsworth, kind of throwing Taika Waititi under the bus, and then also letting people know that he found out he's got some predisposition for Alzheimer's disease. So he's going to pause all his acting and at the age of 39 and kind of pursue that to solve what he can do to stop or reverse it, because he's like 10 times more likely to get it. Then you have Elon Musk, trolling Twitter, essentially, reviving people back from the dead, from like Andrew Tate, your top G guy with one-liners like, instead of asking if you're successful, what color is your Bugatti, things like that. I don't know much about him, but he's pretty crazy. Anyways, 20-year anniversary for the Bounty Hunter game. Now, if you were alive during PS2 time, this was the shiz. Back then, games were super hard. They had puzzles as well as fighting through storylines and all this other stuff. It's kind of cool because it came out right after Attack of the Clones movie, Star Wars, and ever since then I fell in love. A lot of people fell in love with him, I guess. Jango Fett's the shiz. So they made the game, and the game is just way harder than it should be, but it was way fun. You had jetpacks, you had Camino darts, you had flamethrowers. Now the flamethrower was a little janky, but just controlling it was just weird. Everything was kind of backwards. You had the ability to catch bounties and rocket launchers and your jetpack. Anyways, all kinds of cool games. Fun little game. Just wanted to give a little shout out for my gamers out there. That's a 20-year anniversary. It's a 20-year game that was super hard, super fun. I bought it recently, and I definitely do not regret it, even though it's super hard. It kind of gives me a headache too, because the controls are all weird and whack. But going to bodybuilding, you have this is in the 50s, 40s. This is what a bodybuilder looked like. Then it became kind of more mainstream in the movies, as this guy played Hercules and stuff. And that was the peak physique. And then fast forward years later, mutants. We have your Ronnie Coleman's off season near 300 pounds, or 300 pounds ish, and more. Nick Walker's. We became drugs are weird. They took us to 50 new levels, and now we have freaks like Hunter Labrada out there. His dad is just a mini version of what his son is now. Nick Walker being a mutant per always. His arms just keep on growing, it looks like. So here's some video footage of him, or some pictures of him working out. Just it's weird what some genetics with obviously synthetic testosterone do, and a lot of it. This is updates now. He's really looking shredded and dry, which he needs to. His abdomen, as you see, his stomach hopefully won't be a deterrent. He's trying to keep it in, and to help the rest of his physique look good, because he's looking dry. You have updates on all the bodybuilders, but Brett Wilkins just had a show, took second place, so he's going for another qualifying show to go to the Olympia. Antoine Valiant, always, his legs are just ridiculous. His calves are even bigger. James Hollingshead, it looks freaky as always. At the same time, he needs to get more lean. Conditioning needs to shred up like that a little bit. That's a little bit of goon light, obviously, where it comes to awesome lighting, but he's good from the front and the back. He's dangerous. He's just all around really good. And I'll make my top 10 predictions for the Mr. Olympia here in a little bit, which is the Super Bowl for bodybuilding. Then you have the newest, your pros. He's going to the Olympia now. Chinese, their arms and legs are just ridiculous. Another pro, they just have these genetics to. They may have a weaker back, generally speaking, but man, their legs and arms are sweet. You have a new IFBB pro. You have a 51-year-old bodybuilder, 212, Kamal. He's ridiculous. If I looked anything like that, 51, I'll be happy. He's very short, 51, but crazy. Good Vito, speaking of crazy, another ridiculous potential Olympia next year. Now, Brett, obviously, he just got off a show, so he looks freaky. He got to train with Dorian Yates, which was legit, and that's something off the bucket list for, I think, every bodybuilder. You have Roman Fritz, who took 8th place. Now, he's one of the most conditioned guys out there, just a little smaller. Speaking of condition, Samson's finally getting more into the condition. Let's hope that continues, because he needs it. You have Crizzo just looking like Nick Walker arms. They're but freakier almost. Now Charles Griffin, this is about posing. Look at his midsection and lats and legs. Now look at it before. That was it before. The difference of training how to pose, like I talked about last video. If you don't have a good stomach, better work with it like Arnold did. And then now updates on men's classic physique. Chris Bumstead, he was your three-time champ. Now he's going for number 4. Can he fight off the 2-time champ, Breon Ansley, who's also in his 40s, but kind of up there like Kamal, but trying to make it top 10 or first place or top 4. I don't think he will pass like Terrence Ruffin. Terrence just looks too complete and fresh. Urs looks too grainy and just like death face. I mean, look at this guy. This guy looks like he's ready to step on stage. He might have prepped a little too early. I think what they're trying to do is look at that death face. Have him ready early and then feed into the show. And then you have Dino, DNA. He can fit anywhere. He has the shredded density look, not as much as Urs, but pretty dang close, with the size of C-Bum. So he can fit absolutely anywhere. I can see him moving anywhere from 3rd, 4th to 2nd. I don't know if he can beat C-Bum yet, but if C-Bum's immune system, does anything, any of these guys will win. And then you have this is Natural, WBFF. He's a world championship winner there. This is like his transformation. He claims on Natty, if you guys are following Natural World, this is him. That's essentially him. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this more random update, but nonetheless, as always, I would.